Well, hello everyone. It is March 21st. Basically, spring has sprung and here we are where winter is gone and spring is here. So I just want to say thanks for being on the call tonight. And for those of you who are listening to the replay line, welcome to the Global Energy Team Training Call. We plan to have regular Wednesday calls for the rest of the spring season and in early summer as well. So to kick off the season, I have a contest. We haven't had a contest for a while, so let's do something fun. The focus right now in all of USANA land is Celavive. So I've created a Celavive Spring Contest to basically coincide with the focus of USANA Corporate. This contest starts today, March 21st, basically the first full day of spring, all the way until June 22nd. So it's for the next 3 months, April, May, June. So March 21st to June 22nd. And it will be based on the sales of the Celavive kits. Now I'm going to keep calling them deluxe kits, but what are the proper name? The proper name. So it used to be, it's Regimen, Celavive Regimen. So the full Regimen kits. Okay. So the prize will go to the person who sells the most deluxe kits in the next 3 months. And that is to either existing preferred customers. So if you have an existing preferred customer and you call them up and they order a deluxe kit, I mean a Celavive Regiment, that would be, count as one. If you have a brand new preferred customer who purchases a Celavive Regimen, that's great. If you
just sell the kit to somebody and they don't necessarily want to be a preferred customer.
Well, it'd be hard to track. USANA Corporate wants us to sign up preferred customers.
Oh, okay.
So the focus, I'm just basically emulating what their intention is. They want, USANA Corporate needs more preferred customers. So if you notice, if you sign up Jill as an associate and she buys a Celavive Regiment, you don't get the cashback bonus. But if you sign up Jill as a preferred customer, you do. So the focus is to find preferred customers that will purchase Celavive.
Can you tell me how much the kit costs just for me? I mean, do you know?
Well, it is $2.99 Canadian. The U.S. price, I will look up in just a second. Let me finish explaining it. So
I forget you're in Canada, hon.
So that's okay. So the contest starts March 21st to June 22nd. The person who sells and has the most Celavive Regiments purchased either by existing preferred customers, brand new preferred customers, or inactive associates. All of us have some associates who are no longer on auto order. So if you have, let's say, Mary, who's been on auto order for a long time and then quit a few years ago, if you could revitalize her by having her purchase Celavive and the Celavive Regimen, that counts as well. What doesn't count is if Mary's an active associate and you just call her up, hey Mary, have you heard about Celavive? And they said, oh yeah, I'm buying my kit, next auto order. That doesn't count. We want to encourage new sales and new activity. And the person who sells the most will win an afternoon with me at the spa to have like a deluxe pedicure. So if you're in Winnipeg, it's going to be the 10 Spa, and they have a great sauna. It's a great atmosphere. So we could spend the afternoon just hanging out and being at the spa, and I'll treat. It's my treat to pay. Now, if you're in Calgary, then either it'll be next time I'm in Calgary, I'll treat, or if you win and you're from Calgary, but you're going down to the USANA convention, we could have a spa afternoon down in Salt Lake. And Jewel, if you win the contest, when I come to the USANA convention, we could spend a half a day at one of the spas, and it'll be my treat.
That was my question.
Yeah.
You feel like you're next door, and yet you're so far away.
I know, this is great. Well, it feels like we're next door. Like I just can open your door and come right in.
Okay, you'll want to come to Winnipeg because the trip to 10 Spa is absolutely worth it. It's awesome.
Wow.
So it's worth the trip.
With the kind of money I'm going to make in USANA, I will be there one of these days.
Fabulous.
Okay, so how much does it cost in US dollars? You know,
It's okay, hon. I forget that it's different in Canada.
my
I'll
US
check it
price
out.
list is the old price list. I could pull it off, but otherwise,
It's okay. I'll check it. I'll figure
I
it.
think I have the U.S. price list. I will look it up while you guys are talking. I'm pretty sure I have it saved here because I have some U.S. customers. So let me look. I can tell you. I just sold one to my sister-in-law when I was in Hawaii. She was using my products, and then she bought it. She came home, so I know I emailed her the pricing. So let me look. She lives in Washington. So where are you from, Jewel?
Salt Lake,
Salt Lake.
Utah.
Okay. Cool. Uh-huh. Okay, let me see here.
Originally from Virginia. I'm an old Southern girl, lost
Uh-huh.
in the West.
Southern Vale.
Yep.
and while Shirley's looking that up, the
Yeah.
new customer catalogs, the spring summer customer catalog is available in print, so you can order that, and that has all the nutritionals, all the Celavive products, and both food lines, Nutri-Meals and My Smart Shakes. And I noticed the flavor packs are in here, so I guess the flavor packs were supposed to be discontinued, but they're not. So the flavor packs are back. So we have 2 complete food lines. And
I updated my auto order today, and the flavor packs were indeed one of the options.
great.
So, yeah.
So it's a beautiful catalog with all the Celavive products. Also, what's available in print that you can order is the Celavive brochures. These are available as well.
So that first book that you showed, Sheila, is a product catalog, not a product, not an information product, a product catalog.
Yes, it's called A Customer Catalog Spring and Summer 2008. So that's not the product information booklet. That's a customer catalog with the pricing is preferred customer pricing. And this is our main book that we're going to use now to do presentations, because in the back portion, it has Dr. Wentz and some of the statistics and things that you can use actually to do a USANA presentation. It doesn't talk about the business plan, but it certainly talks about the company, the products, and Dr. Wentz, the research and the quality. So this is basically what I'm using instead of the newspaper now to get people.
That is from a catalog, you're saying, yes?
Yeah. So Shirley, do you have the price for the U.S.?
I think I sent it to her by messenger, so give me a second here. I'm still looking. I didn't save it for some reason. I know I just sold a set like 2 weeks ago. I will get it.
It's okay. We don't.
And Jewel, do you know where to, in the hub, when you log into the hub, do you know where to get the price list?
Yeah. I
In,
just haven't.
yeah. So in the price list, it will list it, but it will be less than $299. Now, just talking about Canadian price, the benefit of the regimen pack is that you will actually receive a 12% discount when you buy the package versus all the individual items. It'll actually be a $41 savings. Even though it doesn't state it anywhere, I've added it up. So it's a $41 savings. So I'm saying, Adeline, if you want to save money, you buy the Celavive Regimen pack and you're going to save $41.
Mhm.
So it's going to cost you $299, but you're going to save $41. You actually receive a free cleanser. And that is how I'm positioning it, that it's a significant savings. And it's better to buy the regimen as a kit, because they all work synergistically together, versus ordering point items and mixing and matching with what you currently use. So if you want
About
max results,
how long does this last?
4 months.
Okay.
Now, that's 4 months on your face. Some people, like Jackie, have pushed it about 6 months, but I'm starting to use it for my collarbone up, and I'm thinking I'm going to start using it for my boobs up, actually.
TMI.
I threw that in for Mike there. And so it won't last as long, but yeah, on average 4 months.
If I had the boobs, maybe I'd use it on that.
All right, I found the price for you, Jewel. So it's $245. That's the preferred price.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Yeah. You are welcome. Yes. I saved this price list. I opened it. I think I sent it to our messenger and I didn't actually save it. So now I'm going to.
So any questions about the contest?
No.
I
So
plan
just,
to win.
Good.
we track it ourselves.
Yeah, you track it yourselves. I mean, just write down the names and the preferred customer number or the associate number that's inactive that you're reactivating. So just write down the information, and at the end we'll take a look at it.
You have any projected numbers that it might be have to do to win?
No, but I know it has to be at least 5. I mean, if it's less than 5, then it's, in a 3-month period, it should really be a minimum of 5 to qualify.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't know. We'll
break a record.
Yeah. Shirley, tell me about what you're planning. So maybe we'll know how many we have to sell to beat Shirley here.
Let me see here. I moved your face over somehow. I was like, okay. I was just checking that price list. Anyways, yeah, I've been tracking. I just thought you might want to ask what I've done. So I have done 15 facials already with people, 2 that came to that Celavive event on the 24th, and then I guess 13 more since. I'm looking here, making sure I counted that. One customer she just bought because she used to use Sanse, so she didn't have a facial. So I guess I've done, and one was my sister-in-law who used my product when I was in Hawaii, so you can use that. You can take your friend and go on a holiday and let them use it. That works. So she didn't really have a facial, but she did try it. So I guess 13 facials. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13 facials, and sold 6 sets. 4 of those were the deluxe sets, or 6 good amount of product, I guess you say. 4 of them were the deluxe, what do we call them, the regimen, and then 2 of them were, 4 products kind of out of the 6 items or 7 items, and the other 7 are basically, their preferred customers are going to add it to their next auto order. So I'm looking at my list here to make sure I'm following up with these people, and so it's a really good high percentage of the people that are buying that are getting on that I'm doing the facials with.
That's fantastic. If you did 13 facials, 4 bought the whole kit. So that's 1 out of 3 will actually purchase the whole kit, and the other 2 bought a fair amount. So basically on the spot, 50% of people are buying, and the rest are saying they're going to add it to their next auto order. So that's really
This doesn't count on the contest, does it?
No, the contest.
No. She says anybody that starts from today. So I had a facial today, so she's going to hopefully buy tomorrow, and I had 2 yesterday. One's going to buy at the end of April, she said. She's going to use up for other stuff. And so those 2 will, I'm already on the head start because I already did the facials, but I haven't officially bought it yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just having fun reaching out to people, and, they're saying, you reach out to people on nutritionals. It's, as I often say to people, Dr. Wen says if you had a zipper and you could see inside your body what was going on with your internal health, I did, you wouldn't go a day without taking our products. So I did a spa event here on Saturday, and 2 of the 3 people, one was already a preferred customer using lots of nutritionals, and she'll add that to her next auto order, the whole regimen. The other 2 got on the Cell-Essentials. So that's interesting, I'm finding too, because when you're showing them a price tag of $2.99, all of a sudden the Cell-Essentials look really reasonable, right? That was their mindset. I want to work on my inside health first. So they want the product, but I do find that was an interesting psychology, right? Where they're looking at that and love the product, but their budget is only so much for now, so they want to start on the Cell-Essentials. But I use a lot of the analogy because I'm using a lot of the pictures when I'm emailing people and inviting them. I have my picture that we took with Sheila with Carly Dow, and I'm like, we're like 53 and 55, and Carly's 28, and like, look at the skin, and they're like, wow, that's impressive. So I use that. Some of the woman from Dr. Oz show, I have her as part of my email. So pictures sell, I believe, and I text people the pictures to get them excited to want to, meet me and try the products. So that is something I'm doing lots of too.
Now, Shirley, you sent me that email. Is it okay if I send it out to the rest of the?
Yeah, exactly. That was the one I created. I worked at the wedding show in January, so I have one for the young brides, and I'm emailing, and then, if I don't hear back, I'll text them, and people that are on Facebook, I'll message them. Like, you just kind of have to reach out to people more than one time. And ideally, you want to get them on the phone and actually speak to them, but it's not always easy to get people on the phone. So if I call somebody and they don't answer, I will send them the email, and then I'll still try them back a couple of days later and make sure that they got my email and did they look at it and what are their thoughts. And if they're, yeah, I'd like to meet, I'm busy with this, that, or the other thing, call me at the end of April. Then I diarize that in my calendar, and I'll be busy in April, because I had lots of people from February that said, busy till April, just as an example. So it's just a continual follow-up sort of thing. But yeah, that email's fine, to send out. And then the doctor, I sent you two, right, Sheila? One was a Dr. Oz link as well, right? I sent the
think
7th.
I only got one, but I think it has the Dr. Oz. I don't believe I
Let me look
received.
here. I'm going to check here. I'll see.
So what I'm hearing Shirley say is that, first of all, pictures sell, which is really, really important. And if you have it's really important if you can have your own before and after picture. Like, I've taken a picture before I started, and then 4 months later, and I'm going to put them together, and I'm going to start posting it. And when I contact people, I'm going to show myself the before and after. Right. So if you haven't taken before and afters, please do. So
I sent you on March 15th, Celavive Skincare and Dr. Oz Show. That's kind of my subtitle or my subject line. So that was one, and I had the picture of the woman that was on the Dr. Oz Show that I got, and that was the first email, and then the one I sent right after was just the invitation for the spa date. So yeah, I did last weekend. I have somebody coming tomorrow night, and then I have so I kind of did 5 dates. I'm really putting the push on for this last couple weeks, emailing, calling, texting every day, lots of people, and getting people out. Yeah, and those that can't come out, I have a whole list of people that I have to get back to. So
now, Shirley, do you ask people what's the best way to connect with them? Like, do you ask them, do you want me to message you? Do you want me to text you? Do you want me to phone you, email? Like, do you ask?
I haven't, like I said, because I started off with the email, because I'm thinking back to the people from the wedding show. And so I created a group email. And then because they're all the young millennials, I do find that, if you can get them on the phone, they definitely will talk to you, but they seem to reply better by text. So I don't really ask that, but it probably is a good idea. I just find that, I send them a fair bit of information, I guess, more than I would send in a text, but I have created a shorter text too. So when I'm doing a follow-up, if I still can't reach somebody after a week of sending them information, then I'll text them and say, hey, I was just wondering if you got my email on whatever date I sent it. And, I might send them a picture of myself, the one that we had with Yumi and Carly Dow. I use that quite a bit so people can kind of see someone who's, half our age and how great our skin looks.
And we look just as good.
Yeah, and I just said, hey, we just had a facial. We don't have any makeup on. They're like, wow, which we didn't, so.
No, I stripped it all
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably a good idea to ask people that. Honestly, I haven't had anybody ever say to me, but I do think that the texting is a good thing, and Facebook Messenger too, because, well, like you just said, Sheila and I have texted Sheila, and she doesn't get my texts, but I get hers. So you can't even always rely on text and email, right? If you get them on Facebook Messenger, you can actually see if they've read your message. So that's a good way to send out info too, private messenger.
Now, Shirley, you were at the wedding show, and I know Adeline was at a crafts show this past week with a setup. What information did you ask, and how did you get their information? So going forward, there's a lot of craft sales and different type of business shows coming up in the spring and the spring and early summer. So what would you recommend how do we get contact information when people are walking by
we had a draw, and we didn't give away a ton. I did another ton of product. I was going to say, I did another event with an associate at the German club, and hadn't done an event for some time. I went, oh, that basket didn't need to be that elaborate, but that person became a preferred customer that won the basket. She also came to the Celavive event, so it's going to pay off in time. But we had put shampoo, conditioner, shower gel in there, and a couple of the mini samples of the protein shake. And then what else did I have in there? I had a 7-day supply of the health pack. So it was a very nice basket that she got. But like I said, then after that at the wedding show that John Cunningham had put together, we just had a draw for hand cream or a shower gel. We were just small gifts, and people walk by and say, hey, would you like to put your name in for our draw? We have a brand new line of skincare now that it's launched. I can say just launched before in January it was going to launch. And, you know, love to let you try these products to have the best skin you can for your wedding day. And people were very happy to give us. And so we had the draw forms created with our name, place, you know, their name, of course, their phone number, email address. And yeah, we didn't ask for their address, just email and phone number. And that's it. And then basically just calling them is how I started off, calling them. And if I couldn't reach them, I'd leave a message. Then I sent a group email. So I created a group email on my MailChimp to everybody that came to the show, which was like, for me, like 100 people I talked to. So that was crazy. It's been crazy busy, but I am starting to get, you know, some business from it and some appointments. But
So
it
you
took more than just one phone call. Mm-hmm.
So with MailChimp, that's your follow-up part of your
Mm-hmm.
marketing system. So you created a separate group. Now, do you have different groups or do you just have one Celavive group, or
No, like everybody, like for my I have existing preferred customers and my inactive preferred customers. So now I look at that list and, you know, between connecting with the people from the wedding show, I'm still going back to my, you know, existing preferred customers. I've hardly touched them, honestly, because I've been so busy just wanting to, you know, when you do these shows, you don't want to leave these leads for 3 months at it, right? They want to have heard from you because then they're really going to be like cold leads. So that's important to get on them quickly, I would say. So yes, I still, my group is a preferred customers, active, inactive, associates, inactive, and active, long distance, right? So obviously if we have an event in Winnipeg, people who are long distance aren't going to get that email if it's, you know, a guest speaker coming to Winnipeg. But everybody got, of course, information on Celavive. I put lots of emphasis on letting them know it was launching. Then when we were on the Dr. Oz show, I sent out another email. So the people from the wedding show got 3 emails in about a month. One was, you know, thanks for dropping by. Here's some information. Another one was, you know, and that same email was inviting them to the February 24th event. Then a couple of weeks later, we had our products on the Dr. Oz show. So I sent out another MailChimp, not just to the wedding show people, but everybody else on my list as well. And then really just picking up the phone one by one and calling people is honestly the best way to get them on the phone. Sometimes they still want you to send them information to look at to decide if they want to meet with you further, just they want to check out the website or watch the video, then that's great. But if I can't reach them on the phone, I send the email out and then just call them and say, hey, I've sent you an email, or text them and say, making sure you got your email. Let me know if you're interested in connecting. Yeah, so it's a combination of phoning, texting, emailing, kind of all together.
I think out of everyone in my group, you are the strongest follow-up person by far, you know, it does take time. It's so worth it because really the fortune is in the follow-up, because look at your numbers. Once you get in front of them and they actually try the products, the sales are tremendously high. And it doesn't always mean just for Celavive. I had my friend, I'll give you an example of a success story. My friend Joy, her and I have been friends since grade 1. We've been friends for life. And it took 22 years, but at last she came to a USANA event. She came to the Celavive launch in Winnipeg, and she sat through the whole 4 hours. And then I followed up, and this week she actually ordered the day cream. But not only that, she ordered 5 months supply of the Essentials and a 5-month supply of Biomega.
Ah, interesting. Why did you buy 5 months at once?
She didn't want to be on auto order. She didn't like that whole idea. She wanted to give it a fair trial to see if it, you know, how she was going to feel. So she decided to buy a big whack of products and buy them for 5 months and to give it a shot and see how she's doing. But interesting thing is, you know, she didn't order that much of Celavive, even though that was the door opener that attracted her to come there, because she doesn't use much for her skin. She only uses, let's say, a day cream. But it was a door opener to get her to actually take a more serious look at what USANA had to offer. And that took 22 years.
Wow, eh? Crazy, eh?
I always say I'm going to be in USANA for life. So if it takes them 22 years, so what, you know? So what? You just got to keep connecting and connect light and often. Like, I'm not in her face about it, but it was, you know, very light and often, and you know, so sometimes it takes time to develop these relationships and it's all about timing for them. And what was it for her? She ended up injuring her shoulder, and she wants it to heal faster. So there was a reason. Now she had a reason to start looking after herself better. So it's all about timing. And Adeline and Mike, you were at that craft sale. And Mike, you made up some cards or some tickets for people to fill out for a draw as well?
I made draw tickets for Adeline. They're the size of a business card with the USANA logo on them.
Excellent.
And then the name, room for their name, phone number, and email address. So, for example, this particular craft sale was unfortunately very poorly attended. I think there were maybe a dozen customers that came through customers for the entire show, of which some were very focused on what they wanted. I personally only got 2 ladies to put in their information on the draw that I had going for a spa night. But they were both very specific about what they were interested in. And one was very interested in skin firming products. So that was really cool. And the lady who had the booth next to me, who was selling books, and she had like 6 crates of books that she would have to lug from one event to the other. She's got 4 little boys under the age of 9. So the discussion that Sheila and I had the other day was maybe following up with her with the business opportunity, because she certainly wasn't interested in any personal care. She was more about, hey, I'm here for my boys. So and I wasn't thinking of that during the sale itself. So that'll be a follow-up for that. In the brainstorming session that Mike and I had with Sheila afterwards, where's that little thing you have? We're thinking about doing because we run Texas Hold'em tournaments as fundraisers, and we're going up to Winnipegosis, which is about a 5-hour drive from here, and a smaller community. So what we're thinking of is, while Mike is running the poker side of the event, that I'll do a spa night for the wives and girlfriends who wouldn't normally be interested in playing poker, but hey, they'll come out for an event if their hubby's along too. So, so we're starting to put that together. So we're meeting with the lady who owns the hotel. We'll be meeting with her on Saturday, see if that's something she'd like to do for next month.
I love that idea, because when I presented at the Celavive launch, we talked about the Celavive experience, and that's thinking outside the box. So this is an excellent example of how to adapt a spa night into a very creative and unique way to attract people. So I think it's fantastic, and I wish you all the luck. So you might have, this will be a great model to see if how successful.
So now Mike has come up with he's done some surfing on the net for various images, and I've poo-pooed a whole bunch of them.
She doesn't even like this one, Sheila.
Okay, it's kind of hard to see. It says, you deserve some pampering spa night, but then the picture is, some orchids, some rolled up towels, and some little hot stones and some candles. So I don't know if that's...
Can you put a picture of Celavive with the same idea, Celavive products with some flowers and...
Okay, so...
I've done that one too, Sheila. It's in the recycle bin.
Oh.
I'm going to send you a bunch of that I've already worked out.
Okay.
And get your opinion on them.
Okay. The key thing is make something that looks attractive and invite. Like Shirley said, it's invite. That's the key, and don't let any sort of no's get in your way. Shirley, it sounds like you certainly don't let people don't return your text or phone call or email. I feel that's not discouraging you in any way, correct?
Nope. Until I get them on the phone and they say, no thanks, I'm not interested, or they send me an email that way if they do reply. you know, I get some of that, or not right now. I'm using something that I'm happy with. And even for that, I've even created an email about, you know, thanks for your reply. And I pulled out a couple of articles that we had from our previous line, the Sensei. One is called How Dangerous Are Your Cosmetics? And the other one is called The Use of Parabens in Cosmetics, right? So a lot of people still are using products that have parabens. So it's, you know, that slide that we had at the February 24th event, plus I was on one of the Celavive training calls. It said, these are the things that are not in Celavive. You know that slide, Sheila? That says, we have no formaldehyde, we have no this, no that, some of the things you can't even pronounce. And you're like, so I took a picture of that, or I got the picture of that, plus those couple of other articles, and I say, hey, you know, whatever you're taking, the internet is amazing. You can Google ingredients. People are smart. Even the lady today wants the actual ingredients. You know, she's very analytical. So I had to call USANA. It wasn't easy to get the actual ingredients in Celavive. You got to go under each product, and which I knew from previous products before. But anyways, there's a PDF there that I'll save for each product and literally email it to her because she wants to read each and every ingredient. So there are intelligent consumers out there that are looking at that. They're not just putting it on their face because it feels good, right? So if you can get them to think a little more, you know, thanks for getting back to me. You know, obviously you're happy using what you are. Just please consider this. You know, whatever you put on your skin, I can send you that email if you want to, then you can have it with the links. Whatever you have, whatever you put in your skin will get into your body within 20 minutes. And these articles talk about, you know, these cosmetics and other skin products, not naming any particular, just in general, the concern. And one of these articles was written in Newsweek magazine. I think it's 11 years ago, someone gave it to me. And, you know, talked about hormonal disruptions and even potentially breast cancer. So if you send that to women, it's going to make them think, wow, what is in the products that I'm using, right? And that's just to put a little, you know, little doubt in their mind, and then I'll leave it. And then I'll put a note in 6 months to check in with them again, because their products will use up, right?
Yes.
And they may come back and consider trying the facial, even if they're not doing it today, right? So if I get that kind of response that I'm happy with what I'm using right now, then I'm like, okay, what are you using? Are you really knowing what you're putting on your skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. You're not just handling the objection. Oh, okay, you're not interested. Thanks.
Yeah, no,
Saying,
I don't.
Hold on here. What are you using, and have you thought about? I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to handle their objections. It's just learning how to handle their objections and to educate them, because
right. Mm-hmm.
You know, the key problem is people are uneducated. They don't know that, you know, when they go down to the local shop or drug mart and they buy something for $5.99, they don't realize that it could have a lot of harmful chemicals in it, you know.
Yeah.
If I can ask a follow-up question on that, at the craft sale, there were one lady who was actually working the reception desk, who belongs to some other networking organization, came by the table and saw the comparative guide for the supplements, and she already belongs to a networking company, and she didn't see their products in there. So how would I handle, because they apparently have, whatever company it was, also have vitamin mineral supplements. So how do I handle that kind of an objection? They're already using something from another MLM company.
But it wasn't in the comparative guide, you're saying?
It wasn't in the guide.
And it was nutritional products you're talking about? Yes, obviously not skincare. Well, yeah. I mean, most everything I run into seems to be in the guide. I don't know. I have emailed the company NutriSearch before when I was looking. Occasionally, I've run into people that are taking products that are not in there, and I don't know if they were ever able to tell me much other than they said, I think I remember a response, it was a year or two ago now, that we're working on, you know, updates all the time. They really couldn't give me anything specific on the product I was asking about, but that's what I did. So
okay, so the products in the comparative guide are not just what's on the retail shelves. It also includes other MLMs then?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure on that. Okay, cool.
It has all the common ones like Isogetics, Amway, Melaleuca, you know. So it has, I found all the common ones, more prevalent ones. The ones that it may not have are maybe the new upcoming companies.
Okay.
So lots of network marketing companies that are maybe a year or two old, they may not be in the comparative guide.
Okay, cool.
So what I do is if they're not in the comparative guide, I say, well, are your products pharmaceutical grade? That means, do they guarantee the potency and purity? Most companies don't. That's something you may want to go back to your company and ask them, what is their, what quality of products? Do they manufacture their own products? And are they pharmaceutical grade? Do they have any other approvals like Consumer Lab? USANA, again, has won for the 5th year, has won the award 5th year in a row for the best products from based on Consumer Lab. And I posted that to, I think, my personal Facebook.
That's the multivitamin, Sheila? You're talking about the self.
I think there's about 5 products that were in that rating.
Oh, there are 5 products. Okay. I think I saw an email from, I get emails when you post stuff, but I didn't actually look at it close yet. So there's 5 different products that Consumer Labs ranked as being top rated.
I think so. You'll have to look at the details. But again, it's, asking the person what quality, what grade, what scientific research, how many scientists do they have on staff, are there supplements in Canada in the CPS, the doctor's reference book? Are they in the US reference book called the PDR, the Physician's Desk Reference? Ask them some questions and get them to start thinking about the quality of the products, because 9 times out of 10, the quality is not going to be very good.
Sheila,
yeah.
One of the things you can ask them, do you know where they are manufactured? Because a lot of them are manufactured overseas and just shipped here. And when you tell them that we can go to Salt Lake at any time and go through and watch these being manufactured, most of the manufacturers won't let you in. I went down to New Skin ignorantly and asked them, could I go through their plant? And they looked at me like I was from, and I said, well, I go through USANA's all the time. I said, what's the big difference? So that asking them if they know where they're manufactured would be a good question too.
See, I didn't know that. I thought other companies like New Skin would have the same sort of open door policy like New Skin does. They don't. That's a good point.
They don't want you in there because they don't want you to see what's going on. I asked them very seriously, and I went to New Ways, and no, they will not. They say it's not, they give you all kinds of excuses, but it's just that they don't want you in there.
That's interesting to know. So that again sets USANA apart from the other companies, is the quality. And even at the last Olympics, so many of the Olympians that won actually were taking USANA. I think if USANA was a country, what would we have placed 4th again?
No, second. I shared that link, and I love the stats. We were number 2 next to Norway. I took the time to read through it. 34 medals. So we beat Canada as a country and USA as a country overall. Pretty impressive, eh?
We would have been number 2. Wow.
Number 2, yeah. Norway was number 1. Yeah, pretty exciting.
And we don't give the product away, and we don't hire them to say nice things about us either.
No, exactly.
So.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So that's, well, thanks for that stat. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of what else to say and to educate them. Now, Shirley, going forward in the next 3 months, what else are you planning to do to build your Celavive business?
Well, like I'm working on, like I said, still reaching out to these brides at this as an example, because I did that trade show. I also went to Brandon the week after, so I had like 150 new leads in a week. And then I went to Hawaii for 10 days, and then I had this car accident. But I'm still working because they're coming over. I'm in my crutches, and they're coming over. They're coming over to see me because I can't go see them. So anyway, that's gonna cast will be off next week, and I'll be able to be more mobile. But basically, offering to go to people's homes and just reaching out to people and saying, I'll do the spa facial at your house. You can come to my house, and I don't get discouraged. This weekend, I'm doing a spa facial per se, but right now I've confirmed one person tomorrow night, one Saturday, one Sunday, and I'm still working, of course, to reach out. I still have time for the weekend. Might have more, but I don't get discouraged if I do a facial for one person, because getting one new customer is still worth it, right? And so right now, this weekend's going to come and go, and then I'm already thinking, okay, ahead in April, I'm going to do the 21st, 22nd of April. So I'm always having more dates. So I think it's always good to have your own. Don't just wait for people to book outside. Just say, invite them to your house. And if you can, pick times that work for you, then you can invite lots of people. And if it gives you a reason to reach out to people, if they're not able to come, then you can turn it around and say, well, when could you get together? So I had a few people I called last night, again, the wedding show girls, and it was like, oh, some are university students. Well, I'm really done school at the end of April. May will be better. So diarize on my calendar, call them back in May. So really, it'll be interesting to see 6 months down the road after these leads where things have gone, because it takes time to get a hold of people. It takes time for them to get educated, and you got to get them excited about wanting to try the product and what makes it unique and different, right?
Right.
That's why I think the education emails are important to send. So I have the video, they have the link to the Celavive site. I've got the Ask the Scientist link in there. They can read up on the product. It's get a bit more information than just the Celavive. So it's all in that email that I sent you, Sheila. So that's what I use.
Okay. So you're actually planning for your spa parties a month from now,
Yeah.
so April 21st. So you're already starting to plan.
I'm already planning, April 21st, because I'm going away on a vacation the 7th or the 14th. Otherwise, I would be doing it sooner. And so that's crossing into 2 weekends, and I'm in Regina for my daughters at a dance competition at the end of April. So I'm like, well, I got 1 weekend in April, so why not pick it now? And I'm already saying to people, hey, mark your calendar. So then if they give me that, yeah, that sounds good, I make a list, right? When they're, you can tell if they're sounding interested and excited, their name goes on my list. If they're like, yeah, I'll let you know, then I don't necessarily, I can't call 100 people back, every week. I do follow up, but I mean, you have to kind of pick and choose. So when you reach out to them, if they haven't responded by email, until I eventually get a hold of these people all in person, I'm not going to write it off. Or if they're telling me that they're not interested, then, I would move on. But I do take the time to send out that one last email, even at that, just to be in their mind that, hey, what am I using on my skin? Education, as you said, is important. So some of these brides are not getting married till next year. So they're thinking, oh, I don't need my beautiful skin till next year. But I mean, obviously we want nice skin today. Most people do, but it's just a matter of timing.
When you get in front of them, will you talk to them about the reset kit for weight loss? Because a lot of brides want to lose weight before the wedding. Will you?
Yeah, you know what I do is I did beginning of the Health and Freedom, because we still don't have what I think is a proper Celavive presentation. I'm using the one that we had from the Winnipeg event, but it doesn't have the intro story. So I still go to the Health and Freedom, use some of the slides, and I tell the Dr. Wen story, talk about the nutritionals, and then I go into Celavive. So far, when I think about the people that have been over, no, I have not got into that. I do plan, though. Well, on the weekend when I had my 3 people, I was going to make protein shakes, but then it ended up just being me. My husband had to take off somewhere, so I thought, I'm not trying to limp in the kitchen and be making these protein shakes because I'm on a cast. But yes, that is part of my strategy, is to offer them, that's part of the refreshments. I had some grapes and cheese and crackers, but I thought I'm going to make little smoothies, and that's a roundabout way of letting them taste the product. So definitely is the plan, so that they basically hear about all 3 products when they're having the facial.
Excellent.
But I don't just start off at the slide like they did at the Celavive event. I think that we need to know the history.
Giving them some background about USANA. This is USANA, the company. A little bit about Dr. Wen. So you're kind of setting the stage about why we have this amazing scientific group, and we have Dr. Wen's wanting to create the best products for inside and out. Before we wrap up, just got a minute or two. Does anyone have a question for Shirley before we wrap up and for tonight?
How long has she been doing this?
As long as Sheila, just about, I think, around the maybe, hang on, 22 years for me, I have. So Sheila, let's see, I think maybe you joined 6 months sooner or so. It was 22 years for me in December.
It was 22 years for me in August.
In the beginning, did you get discouraged? You said you don't get discouraged now. In the beginning.
Oh yeah, and I still do, to be honest. There's times you're like, wow, geez, I reach out, but then I'm looking at, the sales are starting to come, and people are coming, and now I'm kind of in a flow, right? It just takes a bit of getting going. And I felt like a lot of the work I was doing, like I said, going back to the trade shows, I still love getting back to my existing preferred customers. And when I look at who's actually buying the product and been here, they're pretty much all my previous or existing preferred customers, actually, as I look at this. I have not yet done a facial for a wedding person yet. I have sold some prenatal supplements to one young woman, but they're all like, yeah, interested. I know by next month I'll start doing some facials, but haven't yet, right? So it just seems like it's work when you're doing the trade shows. It's more cold market, right? So if you can reach out to the people that are already your customers, or if you're new in the business, you know, reaching out to friends, family, they're more likely to want to support you. Then it feels easier, you know, when you start out. How long have you been doing the business, Jewel?
Well, I have an interesting story. I was at USANA at the birth, and I was very, very successful. It came too easy for me. I got caught up in the winning the cruises and having fun and making money. And because I'm a farm girl from Virginia, it was too much for me. I didn't know how to do the business, and I just kind of sabotaged my own self. And so I restructured. I served an LDS mission for my church. And Sheila is an angel that was dropped out of heaven to me at one of the conventions. And it's amazing how we met. And so I restructured my business. And as Dr. Wentz used to say, it's not about how long you've been in USANA. It's how long has USANA been in you. And USANA has been in me for ever since USANA.
Yeah, 26 years then.
And I almost died from a lung infection, and it was USANA that brought me out of it. So I'm
so you're a big believer in the product, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I'm just always willing to talk to people, you know, everywhere I go. And you know, I went to the Pan Am Clinic to get this cast checked to the other. The girl that took the X-ray was like, she had a really nice accent. I go, where are you from? She's from Romania. So she's taking my X-ray. I'm like, So by the time I was done my X-ray, I had her contact information, right? So
beautiful.
You know,
that's beautiful, Shirley.
I'm just not afraid to talk to people because we have a great product and a great opportunity. You know, when she replied to me, that case of the Romanian woman, she said, "Oh, right away thinking she's too busy for the business." So I do find sometimes it's good to promote on the product, right? I said, well, you know what? Look at the products for your own health. I said, it is going to be exciting when it opens there, but you know, first and foremost, you want to believe in the product and be healthy yourself. So I went for my second checkup last week and I dropped her off some information. I didn't get to see her this time. It was a different X-ray person, but left it with the lady, and you know, she's going to be on my email list, right? So when Romania does open in the next few months, I'll definitely reach out to her, and you never know. So it's just a matter of not being afraid to talk to people. And if you have enough people you're talking to in the pipeline, some days I don't know who to call first. You know, my list is long. Let's say lots of people I'm reaching out to. So, but yeah, I'm having fun with the Celavive. And like Sheila was saying, when you get the people on the product, if you look at the points and the reorders of the product, that's going to be exciting for us, right?
Can I ask you one quick question?
Sure, yeah.
If when I was on my mission, there was 250 other missionaries like me. Most of them were married, but in kind of my age group from like 59 to 77. And I have all their contact information. I wouldn't talk to them while I was on a mission about business because I thought it was inappropriate. But now that I'm home, do you have either one of you a way that I could maybe send out a message to all of them at the same time, or like a email or a text or Facebook? How's the best way for me to contact all of those 250 people that I had a pretty intimate relationship with?
Yeah, that sounds like a really good
for 18
connection
months.
of people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have I have email address?
Do I have what?
Jewel, do you have their email addresses?
Yes, most of them I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a letter that I created, which I can send to Sheila. She can forward to you if you want. It's just basically my, hi, you know, this is USANA. I still have the Health and Freedom newsletter attached because it has an overview of all of our products. But now that I just tell people, hey, we've replaced our Sensei line, and I just put a little video clip in each of our products, you know, and kind of a little blurb about it, a little bit about Dr. Wentz. I think I've got the Dr. Wentz website in there so they can check out the science behind. So I've kind of, that's my educational email, which I use often for people I meet. So for me, if I were you and I had those kind of contacts, I think I would start with that. And then I would, if you have their phone number, give it a few days after you email and just call them and say, did you get my email? Did you have a chance to take a look at it?
Oh,
And
okay.
I think you could do really well with that.
Thank you.
I'll send that email to Sheila tonight too.
Okay.
She can send it to you. So that one and my follow-up or my email about skincare, if someone is like, yeah, I'm happy with what I'm using, you know, that kind of a thing, then I send the other email.
Okay.
Just want to put this out there just for you to, you know, have some education, and I can check in with you in a few months again. And that's what I've been doing for people. Yeah.
Okay. I will definitely look forward to receiving those, and I will forward them on. That's very generous of you, Shirley. We really appreciate that. So we'll send it out, and when you do receive them, feel free to tweak them a bit if you want
for sure.
to change them up a little bit, but at least it's a good template, good solid template that's proven to work. So, and Joel, I think that's so exciting. 250 contacts that know you well, and you know them, you have a good relationship. You know,
I'm dealing with all these people that don't know me. They're, you know, it's cold market when you work a trade show. If you have that kind of a connection, that's a gold mine to me.
Yeah.
To reach out to those people. Yeah.
If you reach out to them, you know, 1 out of 10 could potentially join your business. That would be the stats, right?
Yeah, pretty good.
1 out of 10.
25 people.
Yeah, 25 new associates that want to have better health and more income.
You guys are so good for me. Thank you.
And one last thing and then we're going to wind up. One of the other leaders in Winnipeg, her name's Alia. Her goal this year, in fact, in the next 3 months, is to sell 100 Celavive regiments.
Wow.
And if she sells 100 Celavive regiments, she will make $7,500. Because $75 for each one times 100, that's $7,500.
She's planning on selling 100?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for her.
So that's what's in her mind. She's tracking him. That's her goal. And so she's like Shirley. She has lots of spa parties lined up. She's not only inviting people to her apartment, but she's also persuading others to have spa parties in their home. So her and I have been brainstorming on how to reward people, but we're going to talk about that next week, how to encourage people to book a spa event and invite to their house, and how we can reward them for doing that if they're not an associate or a preferred customer.
Oh, how to reward the person that's hosting the
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we'll talk about that next week because our time is up, and it's going to be some great juicy ideas, and we could also brainstorm a little on that. So with that, Shirley, thank you so much for being our special guest tonight. We really
welcome. I will, when I hang up here, I will send you those 2 emails, Sheila, and then you can have them to forward off to whoever you want to Jewel, and then she can take a peek at them and see if they can help her. Yeah.